All right, now look, today we are going to be breaking down some chuck roast to make our very own ground beef at home. And then at the end of the video, I turned it into this incredible smash burger. So let me show you how I did it. So I went to my local butcher and I picked up about 4 chuck roasts. They looked absolutely beautiful. They were actually on sale. And again, you guys, I'm in the mindset right now where I'm really just trying to do everything on my own because with the way recalls are taking place in grocery stores, I just ain't got time. And also, a lot of the stuff in the grocery stores are extremely expensive. And it's not even because of the quality of meat that you're purchasing. It really is all about the process of packaging the meat and the labor it costs to package the meat. It has nothing to do with the quality. So therefore, I'm going to start doing it myself. And I've been studying on how to do this for quite some time, and I've purchased all of the equipment, so I figured, why not? So like I said, I got myself 4 large chuck roasts, really beautiful marbling that's inside of this meat. So I really didn't have to do any trimming whatsoever because you want to make sure that you have some fat in there, because if not, your ground beef is going to turn out really dry. And if you have any intentions on making burgers, you definitely want to make sure that there's some fat content in there. Now, anytime you're about to grind down meat of any kind, you want to make sure that it's really cold. So I placed it onto some baking trays, put it in my freezer, as well as any of the equipment that the meat is going to be touching directly. Everything went into the deep freezer because I want it to be extremely cold. Because as you start to grind down the meat, you know, it's going to start to heat up, and then that fat is going to start to melt, and then it's just going to make a mess, and you don't want that. I'm going to start off with a more coarse grind because although this is a professional restaurant quality meat grinder that I am working with, the horsepower on this particular size one is not as, large. So I'm going to start off with a coarse grind. That way I'm not, going to overwork this machine, which is totally fine. So I'm going to run it through the machine first on the coarse grind. And as you can see, when the pieces are like slightly frozen, it literally just goes through the machine like butter. And that's really what you want. And it also just saves a lot of time. And once again, it keeps the fat from melting and then turning the machine into a full-on mess, which just ain't nobody got time for. So now that I've run that through the machine, you can kind of see that this is kind of the grain that it comes out the first time, and you don't want that. Now, unless you were making chili or something like that, sure. But for burgers and like all-purpose ground beef, you don't want it to be this texture. So now I'm going to take that off, and now I'm going to run it through one more time, but now with the fine grain, which in a few seconds you'll kind of see that it's going to come out the texture of what it looks like when you're in grocery stores. Like that right there, that is exactly what we want. And literally, that's all that it takes to make your own ground beef. I understand that, of course, not everybody has a meat grinder at their home. But if you can invest in one, I would definitely say, look into it, because this was an investment that is going to save me a lot of money in the end. And this machine is going to end up paying for itself. So this meat came out absolutely beautiful. Now that I've gotten all of that done, I'm literally now just going to go on ahead and start to weigh it out. I'm going to weigh this out to about 1 pound bags. And then just put into a Ziploc bag, and literally that's it. I'm going to go downstairs. I set myself some to the side because, like I said, I'm going to make some burgers so I could see the quality of the fat content, and that was pretty much it. All right, y'all. So I was able to get 10 pounds of ground beef, nice and prepped, ready to go, labeled, and now I can just put this directly in my deep freezer and call it a day. I kept a little bit off to the side. I'm going to whip up some smash burgers really quick, or at least a double smash burger, just so that we can test out the fat content. The goal, you kind of want like an 80-20 ratio. And the fat content of these chuck roasts actually was really nice. So I'm really happy with this. So let's go upstairs and let's make a quick burger, and let's see how we did. And make ourselves a little smash burger to really test out, the quality of that ground beef we just made. You know what I mean? I've made up my 2 patties here. And let me tell you guys something. When you're making burgers, like this is not a video on like how to make burgers, but just a little pro tip. Stop overworking your burger mix. Literally just make the patties. Put the seasoning on top, especially if you're doing thin burgers. You don't need to mix all of the patties and then start working the mix. What you're doing is you're overworking the protein of the beef, And that's the reason why your burgers turn out dry and brittle with no moisture, okay? Because you're overworking the mix. It's changing the literal protein texture of the burger meat. Make your burgers nice and thin, smash them down, and then do just a top layer of seasoning. This seasoning right here, this Carving House carnivore seasoning from Tactic Calories is the best burger seasoning I have literally ever had in my life, okay? Trust me. I'm gonna go ahead and slide my bacon to the back so that can continue to cook. Now I'm just gonna add on these patties. Like so. You turn this bacon actually to the side so that that can finish cooking. Move these bad boys up. I don't know where my thing is, so I'm just gonna smash them down like this today. Usually, I have my little meat press, but I don't know where it is today. Go across the top with a thin layer of the seasoning. Just right across the top. Bruh. This stuff is no joke. It really is that girl. I'm telling you. Oh, yes. I like to keep my burgers nice and simple, just mayonnaise and ketchup on a potato roll. My bacon is all done. I can take that off. I'm gonna go in with 2 slices of white American cheese. And now it's time to build that hoe. 1 patty. My God. 2 patty. My God. Bacon. Ketchup, mayo. That, my friends, that's a homemade burger. That right there, that's a homemade burger. Do y'all see this burger? Good God Almighty. 1 bite of this and my ass is about to be full. All right, here we go. Let's stop playing around. Mm-hmm. 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 Fire. I'm already full. I did that.